So today I wanted to talk about my most regrettable skip in HSR. Right. Now, a lot of people know probably my most regrettable pull in HSR. That is either between Hyacine or going into E2 My Day. Because for those who don't know, E1 My Day is quite underwhelming when you're not in AoE scenarios, and his E2 is even more underwhelming because as of current, there is no healer who is really designated for him. The best single target healer in the game for My Day is probably Luocha, and Luocha can only at max give My Day like 20 to 25% Godslayer charge, right? The E2 allows you to get up to 40. So you really get fucked over. Not only can you not take full advantage of an E2 that's already underwhelming, but the E1 is also quite situational. So like the difference between an E0 My Day and an E2 My Day in like a normal 3-target scenario isn't that big in the slightest, right? But my most regrettable skip in HSR, I think many of you will find this obvious, many of you will have seen it coming. It's Tribbie, right? As many of you know, I dropped money so that I could get Feixiao on my main account, and then once I got him E0 S1, I continued to be greedy and kept building pity on his banner for, his Eidolons. Now, do I regret it? No, because this allowed me to get E2 Feixiao, which has a incredible high level of value, and I'll probably, very quickly put this on the screen for, a background video to show you guys. I can run Feixiao with just Robin and Sunday, and I can zero cycle Hule. There's no need for a 4 slot with this guy. He can just zero cycle Hule and the True Sting, right? So this should let you know, right? E2 Feixiao, a complete monster, incomparable to everyone else with vertical investment. He's simply that guy. However, I still do, feel a bit of pain from having not gotten Tribbie because my Day currently has no team buffer for him, right? The most I can do for My Day is what I mentioned earlier. I run my Feixiao with only 2 teammates being my Sunday and Robin, and then I zero cycle, and then I put Branya or a Robin or whoever on my Day team. However, the problem is Branya is just not comparable to a Sunday for a My Day. I've noticed I clear like 1 to 2 cycles slower compared to using Sunday when I use Branya, right? Especially for E2, you want Luocha to be spamming skill every turn he gets because this allows My Day to get more Godslayer charge. You can't really do this with Branya because of how much worse her SP gen is, right? She's basically just SP negative because personally I don't have her light count, right? So Branya, not the best Sunday replacement. RMC isn't exactly a Tribbie replacement for me. I really would have liked having Tribbie or E1 Tribbie. I feel like that would be a pretty big game changer for my Day as of current, because it's pretty pathetic that my E2 My Day, I did manage to get like a 2 or 3 cycle if I give him the best in slot team, right? But that's the problem. Like the first wave, the horse is on like 1 HP, which makes me waste a cycle, and then the second wave I kind of fuck up because I don't try to optimize it all that much, right? So because of My Day's combination of underwhelming Eidolons, no team buffer, and the hyper carry action advancer that's best in slot is on Feixiao's team, my Day is performing quite underwhelming, right? Like my current My Day is probably performing the same as like an E0 S1 Cassie, right? It's really fucking sad, poor performance. Now, do I care all that much? Not really, right? Because I'm still clearing within the 10 cycles because of my Feixiao team 0 cycling. It just feels a lot worse to play my Day. And so if I don't want to, only 0 cycle with Feixiao, it really frustrates me how much harder it is to zero cycle on my second DPS, simply because I don't have Tribbie for him. Especially that E1, may I mention, the combination of My Day's E1 makes Tribbie's E1 quite strong, right? My Day's E1 turns his Godslayer into AoE, and his Godslayer makes everyone take the primary target multiplier and increases the overall damage by 30%. Right. So this is a pretty noticeable damage increase for at least the Godslayers themselves. And against something like True Sting, which is what I would use him against, it is a game changer, because that fucking True Sting spawns like 3-4 side bugs every single time, right? So a Godslayer on those little guys would increase the single target damage done to the bug by like double, right? So just wanted to make a quick video kind of talking about this whole, you know, Tribbie thing, my most regrettable skip. It truly feels like you're playing a completely different game when you have Tribbie, and especially E1, and when you don't. Like, I have E1 Tribbie on my Inoxa account, and holy fuck, man, it's just so good. Like, she's underbuilt, she's not even doing all that much damage. I only have an S2 DDD, and she's still massively helping my Inoxa as of current. For anyone curious, my current E4 Inoxa with Tribbie, E0, S1 Sunday, and RMC can hit, I think, like 700 to 800k damage per skill. So if I were to get you know, E6 Inoxa, which I will end up getting, I will now be able to hit 1 million per Inoxa skill. And on top of this, it massively increases Inoxa's Pure Fiction performance. A lot of people don't really know this, but because of the way Inoxa's bounce works, it's really underwhelming in Pure Fiction, because you're only doing 1 or 2 hits to, right, like 5 mobs on field. Right, the strength of Inoxa and MOC, and why he's so underrated by so many people, is that his ramp up time at the beginning, it feels a little slow. It feels like he's not doing that much damage to the big bads, but over time, as he starts killing the side mobs, his single target damage starts becoming more and more notable, and this is how he catches up to like other characters who are like Herda, you know, Acheron, some Aggies, right? Because Inoxa has this really good single target damage ability, it allows him to really perform well. However, this is an Erudition character who actually has AoE as their weakest mode. So what E1 Tribbie does, right, at least once you go into the second and third waves of Pure Fiction, even though you're wasting a lot of your bounce damage on small mobs and the middle mob isn't getting hit all that much, with E1 Tribbie, you will be doing double the overall damage to the highest HP mob on field, single target. And this will be very, very noticeable for Pure Fiction clears, because it just, you're increasing your single target damage on the biggest boss by double, right? That's the best way I can put it. And Inoxa should already be overkilling side mobs in the first place, right? So this also helps overkill. It puts the damage to the highest HP mob, which is huge for Inoxa, and she's just in general a amazing support for Inoxa, and even other characters too. I can use my E1 Tribbie in my E0 S1 Archer team, which is what I'm currently doing on my Inoxa account, and she is a really, really nice in there. If I had Sparkle, my Archer would be doing really, really well. However, I decided to obviously skip Sparkle because I was interested to see, will Saridra be worth it or not, and now we all know the answer. She's just not worth it, so I'm saving for Cyrene and E6 for my Inoxa, right? Let me know what you guys have as your #1 most regrettable skip in the comments. Me personally, it's Tribbie. I know a lot of people out there, it might be like Hia if they have a Cassie. It might be Sunday because of the SP positivity and the, you know, general use. It could be anyone, right? I'm genuinely interested in what you guys, you know, regret skipping, or, you know, maybe tell me as well, what's your guys' best pull, right? I think personally, the best pull in the history of me playing gacha games has to be this E2 Phanon. It was incredibly luck reliant, but E2 Phanon is genuinely a monster. The fact that I can run this guy, remove the 4 slot with just Sunday and Robin, and get a 0 cycle with turns left is absolutely fucking diabolical, right? Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Peace out.